Hello everyone. In this video we're going to discuss this past PSLE math question. Right? Not only are we going to learn how to solve it, but we are going to learn about what is called the square numbers. Now, square numbers obviously can be associated with a square pattern, but in this video I'm going to show you how the same square numbers can also be associated with a triangular pattern. Okay, so coming right up, stay tuned. Okay, so let us read the question together. The diagram shows some figures. Fill in the table below. Find the total number of blue and white triangles for figure 279. And the last part is find the percentage of blue triangles. Right, in this figure 279. Right, so the first part I think is quite simple because we merely need to add the white and the blue triangles to get the total. So we're going to get 1 here. 1 plus 3 is 4. Right, 6 plus 3 is 9. And 6 plus 10 is 16. Right, so obviously we can see one pattern here, right? So this is actually 1 squared. This is 2 squared. This is 3 squared. And this is 4 squared. Right, so the last for figure 5, of course it will be 5 squared or 25. Right, so we can immediately see the first pattern here. The total is merely the square of the figure numbers. Right, so let's take a look at the other pattern that can be seen here. Right, one of the things that we can do is to find the difference between the white and the blue triangles. Right, so the first one is 1 minus 0. Right, so we get 1. Second one is 3 minus 1, 2. Right, and the third one is 6 minus 3. We get 3. Fourth is 10 minus 6. We get 4. So again, there is an obvious pattern here, right? The difference between the white and the blue triangles will give us the figure number. Right, but this difference, we have to be a bit careful here, all right, because we can see that even though the difference give us the figure number, but sometimes the white triangles is more than the blue triangles. Sometimes it is the blue triangle that is more than the white triangles. Right, for example, for 1 we have 1 and 0, so white is more, but for 2 we can see that white is 1 whereas the blue is 3, or blue is now more than 1. Right, so there is another pattern here. For odd numbers, right, the white triangles will be more. Right, for even it is the opposite. It is the blue that is going to be more than the white. Right, so I think these are the 3 patterns that can be observed in this problem. Okay, so with this knowledge, we can now fill up this. Right, so we know that the difference between the white and the blue will be equal to 5. So how do we solve? This can be done quite easily, right? Let's draw our model. 1 unit, then the other unit will be 5 more, all right, and then the total is 25. All right, so 2 units plus 5 is equal to 25. So 2 units will be equal to 25 minus 5, or 20. So obviously 1 unit will be equal to 20 divided by 2 to give us 10. Right, so which one will be 10? Is it the white or the blue? 5 is an odd number, so white will be more. So we are going to get 10 and 15. So it is the white that will be 15, because white must be more for an odd figure number. Right, so that completes part A. Now let's do part B. We are supposed to find the total blue and white triangles for figure number 279. Right, so the first thing we can do is to find the total. Right, so we know that the total is just the square of the figure number. So we have to take 279, square it, which is the same as 279 multiplied by 279. Right, this is quite a big number. Take your calculator. I believe you're going to get 77841. Right, so now we have to find out how many of them are blue and how many of them are white triangle. The first thing we have to note is that 279 is an odd number. Right, so for odd number, as we have discovered earlier, it means that the white will be more. Okay, so the next thing is to find exactly which one is, how many are blue and how many are white. And we know that the difference between the white and the blue is the figure number itself. So let's draw our model. Right, so the second one will be 279 more, and the total is 77841. Right, so 2 units plus 279 is equal to 77841. So you can find 1 unit. All right, so 1 unit is actually 77841 minus 279. Right, and then after that we divide it by 2. So I believe we are going to get quite a big number, which is 38781. Now, because this is an odd number, we know that white should be more. So this 38781 will be actually for the blue triangles. Right, so for the white triangle, we have to add the 279 to it. Right, so 38781 plus 279. So we are going to get 0603960 for the white. Right, so that will conclude part B. Now let's do part C. We are supposed to find the percentage of the blue triangles in this. Right, so that is quite easily done by taking this 38781 divided by the total, which is 77841, and then multiply by 100. Right, I believe you can get this number 49.82%. Promise, before we end this video, I'm going to talk about the so-called square numbers. Right, what are they actually? It is simply the series of number taking the whole number squared. Right, so for example, 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared. Right, this will give us 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and so on. Alright, so this series of numbers is called square numbers. Alright, so one way of looking at it is to associate this with a square, an actual square. So we can start with a square of dimension 1, and then square of dimension 2, and so on. Right, so these numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25, 36, and so on are actually only the area of a square. All right, with increasing number. right? So that is actually quite obvious. But as you can see in this question, these square numbers can also be associated with triangular pattern, right? So that is what I want to show you next. So let's take a look at this animation that I'm going to show you. I'm going to start with 3 squared, or the square number 9. Right, you can see this is another way of representing the pattern. All right, there are actually 9 dots here, and these 9 dots are arranged inside a square. All right, so now observe this. All right, so very interesting transformation. I still have the same nine number of dots, all right, which is a square number, but now the pattern can be transformed into a triangle. Right, so let's increase the number to the next square number, which is 4 squared or 16. Right, you can see I can form a triangle, and then I can also form a square from it. Right, let's take a look at this. So finally, let's try to increase it to 25, which is also 5 squared. All right, so you can form a very nice square pattern from it, but you can also form a triangular pattern from 25 dots. Guys, I hope you have learned something new in this video. All right, so for your practice, go ahead to the link that is given below. Right, click on the new problem button, try out a few problems, try out some even, some odd number figures. Then you can check your answer by clicking on this answer button. Okay, so have fun and thank you for listening.